What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology, the Titans action, spawning in the top of the map in the blue color, playing as Zeus. His name is Hagrit. His opponent today in the red color, playing as Hades. His name is Buggy 111. I'm not even going to tell you what the map is. If you guys don't know what the map is by now, I'm not sure anyone can help you. I'm not sure anyone can help you. Anyways, it's another map. It's another me. It's another you. It looks like a pretty snowy map here. Very exciting times to be alive. So, for those of you who don't know, Hagrid is an EE player coming over to EE to play on Voobly, and he's been doing this for quite some time. An incredibly solid player, and so solid in fact that he can get wins off of the best players. I've seen him beat literally the best players in this game several times over. So he is a force to be reckoned with, and someone to never count out of a tournament game ever. His opponent, however, I have no idea where he's from, if he plays on just strictly Voobly or if he's come over from EE. Fairly new player. His name's Buggy, and he's here to show all of the players out there who want to participate in a tournament that it is possible for you to get involved if those tournaments are available. And Buggy now moving over onto his boar, finding those fairly early here. We do see multiple boar spawns on this map. Again, I don't want to hit the reveal button until we see what the players see. Maybe a little bit later, we might be seeing those. Relic has been found though. The Dwarven Calipers here. This one gives you negative 20% siege gold wood cost, which means cheaper siege weapons, effectively by 20%. Very, very good relic for the later stages of the game, especially in the Greek War, where you definitely want to be going Heliopoli. So 20% reduction from 500 resources ends up being a ton of resources you save every single time you build those Heliopoli. So it can be a very, very nice strategy to go for here for whoever gets that relic. Over here on this side of the map, however, we do see the Wedget Eye. This one is a 10% reduction in the myth unit food wood gold cost. Much better for the Zeus player in this matchup. However, a lot of the times here, the Hades or Poseidon player in the Greek mirror is going to be wanting to make Colossus at some point, or Chimera, depending on the way the game shapes up. Now we're seeing Hagrid moving over onto this separate food location over here, happily chopping down wood and sharing the storehouse. This isn't something we see very often. The reason being is that the extra 50 wood doesn't end up mattering that much. It's much better to pick the better storehouse location in the end of the day. But this storehouse location here from Hagrid, there's nothing wrong with it on this wood line. This happens very, very rarely, where you get a very nice forest, nice and long, to share this storehouse with this gold mine. However, Hagrid might want to throw down another storehouse on this gold mine a little bit later, depending on what he decides to do in this game. Buggy now going to be throwing up his temple, 1 villager on gold, 3 villagers, 4 villagers on wood. This looks to me fairly similar. Fairly does give the indication that this is probably going to be a second town center grab. The reason being, town center is perfect here for Buggy. He's got himself a fantastic amount of boar over here, and he's going to be eating all these boar before anything of real threat comes to hit him. So would not be surprised to see Buggy going for a 5-second town center. The problem is that there is a water location on this map that is spawned, which is in range of this town center, in range of this town center. There's a water location in range of this town center, and I'm sure, beyond sure, that there's going to be a town center here in range of this water. So every town center here is a threat for Oxy Juggernauts. As Hagrid's going to be advancing here through Hermes. Is he going for Centaur is the big question. He's got 2 villages on favor. He's got himself only 2 villages on gold, and the rest have gone over onto wood. He does have 9 villages on wood. 9 villages, 8 villages is roughly the amount you want. So Hagrid's going to be attempting to make Centaur work in this map. So we'll see if Buggy is going to be able to react to this in time. So the reason why Hermes is I don't particularly like Hermes, unless the map allows for it, is that players, especially top players, have been getting really, really good at early walls and really ruining any chance that the Centaur have to get anything done here. So if Buggy walls this off here and walls this off here and walls off here, it's just 3 walls, probably going to cost him about 200 gold in total. He's going to be completely safe from these Centaurs. However, he hasn't started those walls just yet. And it looks like Hagrid is going to be getting some real serious damage done here. So we'll see how it's going to go as the Centaur are wandering forward. Now, again, another kind of, this is something I've been noticing quite a bit, another kind of low hunt spawn here. It's 2 locations of hunt, which with decent amounts of hunt. So this is not necessarily like an oasis spawn, probably closer to like a low hunt, maybe, what do you call it? Blue Lagoon spawn, maybe. But all the hunt is in one location. As the Katoskopos searching around here for Buggy and Hagrit, just seeing what's going to happen. And is this? I think it is. Definitely in range of Oxyjuggernauts here. So a fast, some version of a fast mythic here could be really, really strong. As Buggy going to be throwing up these walls over here, leaving his Chiron on this side. Nice play from Buggy thus far. Very, very defensive. However, he's moving his Minotaur forward to his death as Hagrid is already on top of it. That Minotaur is not long for this world at all. As the Odysseus, with his keen eye and accurate wrist, able to take that Minotaur down. The Ajax is going to be retreating away, and the Centaur are now in the base of Buggy as his first villager here. Going to get taken down into the tower, not into the tower, not able to quite get there in time. Hagrid gets a first blood here on both a Minotaur and a villager, so he's slightly in front of the Hades player in this position, as Buggy has to get those villagers back to work and get that wall up. Surprisingly here, Buggy hasn't been able to afford himself the town center, and he's actually going for archers in this game, deciding archers are the way to go against the centaur. It's going to be a difficult one to really predict here. Don't normally see this. Don't normally see this at all, mainly because those Toxotes wouldn't really be able to do all too much. However, they can move forward and actually pick off the heroes here fairly easily, but another villager getting taken down here as Hagrid's going to micro these centaurs with the best visibility while bolting the Chiron here, going after those Toxotes as the Odysseus is flinging arrows at the Ajax. It looks like the Ajax is actually going to probably die first, but Sentinels gets cast here, going to actually be able to start taking down the Odysseus here, as now the Odysseus moving forward into his death. The Centaur moving forward to take down these Toxotes here, as Hagrid's going to be searching up to the top side of the map to pick off some of these low HP villages that are on this final ball over here. And this is going to be even more damage that Hagrid's going to get. This is a ton of damage. We'll see if Buggy's going to be able to get his way to the heroic age like he wants here. He's starting to get those resources in the bank to advance here. 500 food, 279 gold. We'll see how that's going to go, as Hagrid's going to be retreating back here with his Jason, not wanting to lose it just yet. Centaur still having to retreat away from that Ajax over here. Still no buildings other than, no units or anything else other than the Centaur getting built here, as Hagrid's deciding to move forward and grab his second town center here. I'm a little bit surprised to see this second town center. However, I mean, there's 2 ball here. So the point is, I'm surprised to see this town center because of all of the goats that Hagrid's got, this is actually a perfect, fast, mythic map off of the Centaur aggression in the early stages of the game to really pile down onto your opponent, especially with a relic as good as Dwarven Calipers. Meanwhile, Toxotes over here are going to be getting picked off here by the Centaur of Hagrid, and another hero popping out here for Buggy to help him survive. Villager differential right now is only 6. And Buggy going to be in the heroic age fairly soon here. So we'll see if he's going to be able to find any value in his heroic age, if that is indeed what he's trying to do, as the armory does get thrown up. A lot of the time, especially for Poseidon, some sort of semi-fast heroic works against the Centaur Strangle that Zeus players used to do. It's kind of changed nowadays and it doesn't work as well. However, the point is getting out an early Atlanta can be incredibly useful for a Poseidon player, but this is Hades, and Hades has got a completely different issue that he has to deal with, and that's that he's going to have to build Achilles. And Achilles is a strong hero, don't get me wrong, but it's just not as fast as the Atlanta, and therefore the Centaur threat does not get counted that easily here. Hagrid going to be wandering forward here with his Centaur, trying to get in onto this location, but he's not able to get through these walls just yet. There's the Apollo coming through for Buggy. So Buggy's managed to get himself to the heroic age, 10 minutes into the game. A couple of these Toxotes are still going to get taken down. Hagrid with the micro yet again, keeping his Centaur alive. Town center is up, and Hagrid's now going to be getting himself plow and getting himself those farms, finishing up this final boar over here, and throwing down some military buildings. Deciding to go with stables here. Stables, not a bad idea. So long as you don't build Toxotes, I think you're fine. So hoplites, Hippocon, completely fine. In the Greek mirror, if you go Toxotes, it's kind of a waste of time unless you're planning to use them early in the game. So Buggies, Toxotes here make a little bit of sense so long as he was planning some sort of heroic age shenanigans here. The question is, though, is it too slow as he's throwing up a stable over here? He does have a nice Sim City getting built over here. You can see those buildings nice and joined here, creating mini blocks in his base to prevent Hagrid from getting in here and all the other good stuff. So we'll be seeing the gate getting targeted down as the Manticore going to be wandering forward here for Buggy. Can actually get a lot of damage onto these Centaur here if they actually get hit, as we do see a nice micro here from Hagrid, and then the Odysseus going to start targeting down said Manticore, but Buggy retreats back nicely. The Toxotes is going to try and go after the Jason here to prevent his gate from getting taken down, as Hagrid's now got a ton of wood in the bank. I'm not sure exactly what he's going to be going for. It looks like he's going for a town center and then possibly farms on said town center, as the Centaur are going to be wandering around the bottom of the map here. And we'll be seeing the Odysseus getting taken out pretty close to. It's got to be careful not to lose that one because it's kind of the only option to deal with the Manticore here at this point, as Hagrid is in a fairly commanding position, but Buggy getting himself Shaft Mine. Not sure what his plan is now. Not sure where he's planning to go. He's still making units out of both of these buildings, getting himself the Hippocon, getting himself the Toxotes, making the villages. I mean, if the actual plan here is some sort of underworld, he should be making himself a Pegasus at some point to try and hit the second gold mine of Hagrid or something like this. As Hagrid's not really moving forward just yet, going to be booming his way into the future here as this town center just about to get up, and Hagrid is getting himself further and further ahead in this game as Buggy now deciding, going to get his own second town center over here, has to catch up to Hagrid somehow, as 18 villages, 19 village deficit here for Buggy is quite a lot to overcome, and he's deciding he has to get himself watchtowers here as well. As Hagrid pulls back, see if he can defend this or not. As Hagrid's just not quite found an avenue into Buggy's base. And the big problem, well, not really a problem, but the big next step for Hagrid to really end the game now would be gold mines. And this gold mine is very well defended. You would have to build a transport ship to get over here because of this wall, because of this wall, because of this tower. This gold mine over here, not such a issue, as we are seeing a fortress getting thrown up, though, for Buggy to try and hold on to it. So that makes a lot of sense over there. And Hagrid's just going to be like, well, don't really care. Going to throw up my farms, try and get to the next stage. You can see he's kind of done the windmill formation. It's not actually a windmill formation. You kind of go 2 farms on each side of the town center, and then you kind of done. There is a way, I think, in which you can you kind of put the sides of the farms over each of the town centers, so the corners. I think this is the windmill formation. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure. Someone said the term, I'm like, yeah, that makes some sense, where this is the most efficient way to build farms. Now, these 4 farms here, I actually think would be better off being made with a granary, because the corner of the farm it's just way too far away from the town center in a way. So the extra granary is going to pay itself off over the course of a game, for sure, especially if you're floating a ton of wood like Hagrid is. But I'm sure Hagrid just going to be going to the heroic age fairly soon here, as Buggy's got himself his second town center, more houses coming up, villagers coming over here to grab the boars and everything like that here. As we do see the fortress is up now, another villager getting taken down. Buggy does manage to garrison into his fortress, but Hagrid's going to be a little bit upset that he couldn't get that fortress down, as we are seeing the heroic age now coming through for Hagrid, going through Apollo, as the Hippocon going to be wandering up to this location over here looking for something to attack. He does have his underworld, 76 population to 100 population, 40 villages to 73. Hagrid's going to be hitting that 80 villages significantly in front of Buggy. Not only that, barely any farms thrown down for Buggy just yet. His economy is seriously suffering in this game. Upgrades hand axe, shaft mine, husbandry. Hagrid's on no shaft mine, but really not that far in front, well, not far behind on economic upgrades, even after all is said and done here. Yeah, Hagrid throwing up some walls, even being very, very safe here. He does decide to build a transport ship, so he does have the idea to come and attack this town center at some point here as the Hippocon raids, trying to get in. It doesn't look like the wall is going to get up in time. However, 3 Hippocon probably not even going to be enough to deal with one group of Hagrid villagers here, because Hagrid's just going to turn around and shank them down or something like this. As the Manticore does pop out here for Hagrid, the towers do not have themselves crenellation, but he does have the towers. Do we see some sort of market going to the heroic age, mythic age? Doesn't look like we're going to the mythic age just yet. Getting himself Bosaw Quarry. Bosaw is a big ticket upgrade for the Greek players. I say a lot of those times when I'm talking about Egyptian that the big ticket upgrade is Shaft Mine and gets you like a really big boost to your gold gather rate. That upgrade for the Greeks is Bosaw. So if you ever see yourself with an opportunity to get Bosaw, you're gonna see a really big boost in your wood. Now, all that being said, Hagrid's got 1,300 wood in the bank, so doesn't really need it. But Hagrid's still taking his time here, not deciding to push in just yet. But now he is going to be heading forward, trying to take these units down. We do still have a restoration here for Buggy. If he wants to use it to try and secure this town center, it will make a lot of sense. There is said restoration as those centaur are getting taken down, but Hagrid is going to continue flowing units in onto this position. Quarry coming through for Hagrid, Plow coming through for Buggy. 91 population for Buggy to Hagrid's 120, 130 populations. It's continuing to increase here as a market in the top corner coming down for Hagrid is going to be going to the Mythic Age very, very soon. Very easy to sell all of that wood and go to the next age. We see more military buildings getting thrown down for Buggy, and a market as well. He's going to be thinking about going to the Mythic Age himself as Hagrid is slowly pushing in here, trying to take down these Toxotes and everything else. There are the hoplites that can take down the fortress. As the market is up, will we be seeing any sort of selling of wood or not is the big question for Hagrid. I mean, he could go Hera, he could go Hephaestus, and he does sell that wood, and he is indeed deciding to go Hera. His economy is gigantic. The extra punishment of a lightning storm here is going to be huge. He does have to be fairly concerned about Buggy garrisoning inside of the fortress, though it's only 10 population. The town center being more like 25 or something is going to be a bit better. As we see the wooden wall here getting taken down for Hagrid and the town center going up. He does have a dock already up over here, so he can make himself some of those Oxy Juggernauts to take the town center down in the back there. As Buggy is going to be wandering forward, trying to take down some hoplites. And Hagrid retreats back. Town center on the front, just about up. Going to be a big, big advantage for Buggy to a big, big disadvantage, big, big mountain to climb for Buggy here to take this game. We'll see if he can do it. Retreating back. He's got a whole bunch of units here, all very low HP. Hagrid's still biding his time. Hasn't thrown up a fortress just yet to try and take down the Hades buildings. It is a little bit challenging to break through a Hades' base because he's got Sentinels, he's got the stronger building, 687 HP on the Watchtower, 3,500 HP in a town center. But all that being said, Hagrid's army and advantage is overwhelming here as heavy infantry is going to be coming in, Carpenter's coming in, and Hera. Those are all big ticket upgrades for this stage of the game for sure. As the Toxotes over here retreating back, Hagrid going to be pulling back as well. As the cavalry come through trying to take down these Hippocon over on this location here. The Manticore going to finish off some of those Toxotes here. And there is a lightning storm spawning over the head of Buggy. This picks off a whole bunch of villagers, but not really much else here. But Buggy will be deciding to tap out at this stage of the game. Hagrid too far in front. And Hagrid just showing the macro game and the centaur game too strong here. I mean, what made a lot of sense here for Buggy, which he just didn't manage to execute, was maybe a slightly delayed classical age, focusing on getting the walls up over here on this and this location. It's a big, big counter to the centaur strategy of a Zeus player, though it does play into a metagaming strategy, which Hagrid didn't do here, and he would, and yeah, it does play into a metagaming strategy, basically, which is the Zeus player rushing 3 town centers against said strategy. But this was the best play here, I reckon, for Buggy, especially with those boar over here. Had Buggy done that, he would have had 2 safe town centers. He could have just boomed to the heroic age and played safe, and maybe even gone straight to the mythic age behind this against those center, because that would have just been a waste of units. Hagrid would have had to grab town centers and been kind of behind for the entirety of the game. But he didn't do it. Hagrid did what Hagrid does best. Very solid gameplay. If you guys enjoyed this game, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTubes, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next game.